I'm Brian DeGraw, and I'm a targeted individual. I just want to make this post to help you guys deal with your targeting and maybe record it. Not entirely sure of what all my targeting is, but I can tell you I have a Faraday cage. It has silver metal mesh, and it's grounded, and that's basically with alligator clips. I grounded it into the wall. I also have a mylar blankets over the window that are grounded, and that helped for a time. But whatever kind of targeting it is, I believe it's pulse microwave, but I'm not 100%. I'm not entirely sold on the scalar wave theory. The shielding only worked temporarily, so I do think that they have some kind of they're able to get biorelevant feedback and measure that with whatever way they're doing, whether it's heterodyne EEG or whatnot, but they can tell whether or not you're conscious or awake. I've even gotten an extremely low frequency. It generates a ground wave that's associated with the earth to try and block the ELF, but that doesn't work. I've gotten a jammer, and that I ordered from Hong Kong, and even leaving that plugged in all night, that doesn't work. The best thing that I've found that works is it's binaural beats and meditation and just having a grounding cord like strapped to yourself, and I run a grounding cord. I've heard if you earth the grounding cord, it's a little better than just having a normal grounding cord. I can show you guys. I can actually measure my frequency, my assault on myself almost all the time. It's about a 20 kilohertz signature, and I mean it's pretty much constant. It's almost there all the time. I actually there's the one app that works really well. It's called the Spectrum Analyzer app, and it's for Android. And what you can actually do with that app is you can do a weighted sum. With that app, and that app works really well to kind of pick up some of the frequencies that are being used. And that's not natural. I mean, how is that natural? You can clearly see a 20 kilohertz signature, and I mean, it's all day. It's been over a year for me. It's been affecting my sleep. They wake me up every couple of hours. They're trying to do some kind of behavioral health modification in my cognitive rehabilitative in my circumstance. I'm not really sure. But they think they're healing, but they're really not, and they're not consistent. That's the best part, is it's not all a toaster oven, because they're not consistent. It's people. It's semi-autonomous. There is like sort of a tape, I think, or a track I've heard other TIs talk about where they can run it throughout the day. But I highly recommend you guys get on some of the conference calls and just talk it out with some people. Some of them, they got their spiritual beliefs and they bring it there, and there's some quotable things, and you just kind of have to stick it out. It rains on just and unjust men alike. I mean, you can be a bit of a cynic and say, life's just not fair, and that's fine, but don't let them fucking stoic dog group 3 your ass. That's what nature does. She's provided in complexity and in simplicity that just frustrates them. And these people, they're not, not all of them are bad people. They're in a seventh heaven sort of scenario, or they think they're doing good, or they just caught you on the wrong time at the wrong day, and that's how they judged you, and it threw off some flags or something. Um, uh, we need legislation. It's plain and it's simple. I mean, if you can go online and you can buy an acoustic harassment device for $40, and it just runs on a 9-volt battery, and there isn't legislation for something like that, except in Michigan or Massachusetts, there's something wrong. I mean, that's a low-tech solution to whatever the fuck this is. Clearly, this is a little bit beyond that, because I've traveled. I've gone to Arizona, and I still could measure that the frequency. It followed me, and we can't stop it. You have to accept the technological determinism, and the way to beat it, it's funny, is to just make more of it, and that helps raise the awareness. You can't deny the microwave fray auditory effect if you can just you can go and give somebody a bone conductive experience. It's no longer like a deniable scenario then. Thankfully, the subconscious doesn't function on word. That's why I don't understand it. It's like if these people would, in just the tiniest bit of humility before the landscape of complexity, and to do some serious inquiry into relational theory and the modularity of the brain, and just real good science. They would get a distribution of people, and they would get consent, because it's clearly no longer double blind, and that's how they would work to affect change. So that's why I think they're just jerk circling for power, and I don't mind. I don't mind being the fucking lowest piece of shit. I recommend you guys read. Keep yourself reading. They say 5 days after you read a book, your brain is still kind of reprocessing it. So I'm not entirely sold on the whole neural monitoring thing. I am a little sold on sort of feeding a signal for your brain to bootstrap off of, and that's probably why we get the tinnitus, because part of that is it's a pre-encoded noise signal where they need to establish a background, because the brain is an amazing pattern-seeking machine, and it's great with its ability to deallocate, but it still has to find homeostasis of systems, both the parasympathetic and sympathetic systems. So I mean, at least I know in my case, with the 20 kilohertz signature, it's a fight or flight response almost all day, all night, and it makes it hard. It makes it hard to get out of your own head, but that's what you got to do. And you gotta make friends. You gotta make friends in your community. Go to a soup kitchen. Let people think you're crazy. Play it off like you're weird. Some people got aliens and be like, well, this is my weird. And I'll tell you, we'll figure it out. I know I'm gonna try and build a wave bubble. It's Lady Ida, I think, is it? But I got the PCBs here. So I mean, I've sunk maybe $5,000 into trying to find a solution here. They fucked with the wrong fucking person. If I were a violent person, I'd have bought a gun, or I'd have gone to a gun show and just fucking broke into somebody's car. I'd have gotten a fucking plastic printer and gone on the dark net, or gotten a ceramic printer and started making fucking armor. Knowledge is power. I mean, people are just completely fucking paranoid in this era anymore. And it's just, it's like this big fucking drama story. I don't know, work on your own inner narrative, and know that, the silence is sacred. To even name the game is to transact information. So, it's not a choice in some level, like the inscrutability of some aspects of reality. And keep fighting a good fight.